If you have an academic career, if you are in school, you must have exams going on. Whether you use sticky notes, notepads, or daily planner. But at the end of the day, you will have to set an effective study timetable. And today's video is exactly what is going to address that.
I would like to get to know what could be.
So we are going to look at this video in segments. Why it is important to have an effective study timetable, how to do it, where I'll be doing it with you very practically here as I brought out all my things, the reality behind having a timetable in general. Whether it is effective or not, there are certain things that come into making a timetable and things that you have to consider. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to list your subjects on paper. I'll use as an example my grade 12, where I had 8 subjects, right? And those 8 subjects were, I had, let's remember, I had English, home language, I had Afrikaans, I had mathematics, which can be, of course, abbreviated as maths. I had physics. I had life sciences. I had life orientation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing 2. I had geography and religion studies. Right. So in all 8 of my subjects, what we have to do now is you want to color code your subjects, right? And the way that you want to color code your subjects is in a way that you have priorities using 3 different colors, where green is manageable subjects, yellow is subjects that you find quite medial. They need a bit of time, but not as bad as red, which I used pink because I don't have a red highlighter, which are the subjects that are of your highest and top priority. That means that you're struggling in these. If you don't study, you either will fail or you'll get a very bad mark. So, in accordance to how I was perhaps going into my final exams last year, I had Afrikaans as something that was of high priority. And you know why, as well, obviously. I don't need to explain that. And the second thing was my geography was also of high priority. And if you find yourself having that all 8 of your subjects are of high priority, that's good, that's bad, it doesn't matter, because this is incredibly selective. It depends on what type of a person you are, how ready you are, and how you've been doing throughout the year. It can be that someone else does not have a high priority at all, but some of us do have high priorities because we're not that smart, to be honest with you, right? And then the second thing rather, is where we have our medial subjects. And our medial subjects are, for me, the likes of mathematics, physical sciences, life orientation, and English. And the only subject that I would say was quite manageable will have to be religion studies. So those are my color codings. Now, the second thing that you want to find yourself doing is having sort of like a daily planner, right? And I have pre-created this so that we use it. So I'll use this year's October as an example. So the first thing that I do is I use a different color, perhaps black, or let me use green. No, green is for that color-coded subject. So I'll use perhaps the black to indicate the dates in which I'm going to write my exams. So let's say that on the 12th, I'm writing, okay, let's say we start on the Monday so that we are more formal. Let's say I'm writing maths paper 1, of which maths paper 2 must be here. That means that maths paper 1 must be on the Friday before. So we assume maths paper 1, maths paper 2, and then let's say on this Friday we have life sciences paper 1, and on this Monday it's going to be life sciences paper 2. Then we have physics paper 1, then we have physics paper 2. And the way that geography always is, is when it's on this Wednesday, Geo paper 1, the Geo paper 2 will be on the next Wednesday, but in the afternoon. And this way, let me just stick to these subjects then, so we don't waste too much time. So in this way, I have all these 7, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 8 of my subjects written down. And what I'm aiming to do now is to write them down into subtopics. So I know that my exams are written in black, right? Now, the first thing that I wanted to do now on this part of the video is I want to introduce a studying method known as spaced repetition. And for those who don't know, spaced repetition, it is a technique or method of studying where you review and look into your work at spaced longer intervals, and in fact shorter intervals, as you come closer and closer and closer and closer to the exam, which allows you to retain more information. So I had a problem with memory and information retention. So I spoke to quite a number of lecturers, and they all told me to try a method of spaced repetition. And I can say very proudly, as many studies and articles say, that spaced repetition is really a way that works for most of the population. It's highly effective, it's very efficient. And the method of spaced repetition that I want to introduce to you is the 7-5-3-1 method, where you look into this 7 days before, 5 days before, 3 days before, and the day before the examination. Now let's take, for example, maths paper 1. So this thing doesn't go to 7 days before. So this is 1 day before. So you will look into maths here. You will look into maths 1 day before. And 2, 3, you will look into maths 3 days before. This here, this is 1. You look into maths paper 2 here. 3, you look into maths paper 2 on this day. 5, you look into maths paper 2 here. But obviously, on this day, you won't be as explosively looking into it because most of your focus has to go to this exam, the one that is coming most recently. And yeah, so with this method, what you're doing is you are going to actively recall your information in subjects like life sciences, biology, economics, and all the subjects that have a lot of theory. You're going to look into the content or the concepts 7 days before. Look into it, study it, recall it, do all what you have to do, walk around, pace around the house while recalling on the information. And you do that again 2 days later, after 5 days. You do that again. This will help you gauge how much of this work you've memorized, and also putting it in your long-term memory instead of your short-term memory. And you do this again 3 days before, where you're now perhaps actively remembering it. And by actively, I mean you take out a piece of paper, you write down the topic, and then you start writing down all the things that you know that you have to remember. And you do that again 3 days before, you do that again the day before the test. And I can assure you deeply that by the time that your examination comes, you will be well prepared. There is no way that you can look into information 7 days before, 5 days before, 3 days before, and the day before, but you still have not retained information. Now this will stay in your long-term memory because you looked into it too many times in a way that is quite active, efficient, and effective all at the same time. So we are going to deal here with the method of the 7-5-3-1. Looking into this here, now let's take Life Sciences paper 1 for example. This is the day before, 3 days before, this is 5 days before, this is 7 days before, right? We look at geography, 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. So here, I'll have studying for geography here. I have geo here, right? I have geo paper 1. And at the same time, I have perhaps, let me see what other subject we had on our thing. Let's look at perhaps life sciences as well. Now this will be 2 days before, which will be your life sciences. Now obviously, when you do this method, there will be some sort of clashes where you have more than one subject to do in a single day. And this is where our color coding will come into play now. So you look at your color coding. We know very well that geography is said to be red. Geography is a red subject. It's danger. Red is for danger. And then we know that our life sciences is yellow. Now, our guidelines tell us that red is more important than yellow. Now, that means that on this day, you will spend more time doing geography than you will be doing life sciences, because you said that life sciences is of lesser attention in terms of needing. You said that life sciences is quite medial as compared to the high priority geography. And the problem with most people that are smart is they find themselves falling into the slump of thinking, okay, I have to study maths, physics, and life sciences so much. And then your averages get dropped down by geography, English, and the likes. So this method here should be effective because it works for me, works for many people that I've recommended to. And I have even more people that I've spoken to about it, which also attest that this method is very efficient and furthermore effective. Now, of course, as the days go, you know that you have to now go on and write down all these subjects. Now, you will have your timetable filled up. And once you've already put down all these things here, what I like to do is to be very specific with my tasks. I don't like writing just geography. No. So in grade 12 geography, there are actually 4 modules to cover. The only ones I can remember is climatology, settlements, and mining, that one, economic geography, and I think there was also, I don't think I have the time to remember, but yes, those 4 modules. So here on this day, perhaps you say, I want to do climatology and economic geography. That's paper 1 and 2, it's fine, but that's what I'm trying to say. So with life sciences, you say, okay, so today I want to do the ear, I want to do human and nervous system, I want to do meiosis, and I want to do perhaps DNA replication as well. So that is what I usually do. Not usually, but that is exactly what I do. So I said here, it's 3 days. So let's say I'm looking into life sciences. It is 1 day, it is 3 days, it is 5 days. So let's say I'm looking into life sciences here. So I'm not only going to write life sciences, I'm also going to be very specific with the tasks that I want to get done on this day. That is, perhaps I want to do on this day the ear. And make it very specific. So when I wake up, I know that, okay, today we are looking to the ear. I don't just say today we are studying life sciences, because then I wake up, I don't know, should I do the ear? Should I do the nose? Should I do paper 1? Should I do meiosis? Because the difficult part of studying is getting started. So if you can put a very good foundation into that, and when you sit down, you know exactly what you have to do. It makes everything a whole lot easier. So you know, today I'm doing the ear, I'm perhaps doing the human nervous system, and maybe human evolution. Maybe you're also doing human evolution. Now, this also helps you to take breaks, you know, it helps you chill. What I mean is, you have 24 hours in a day. You wake up, let's say you manage to do everything with the ear in 2 hours, and you manage to do the human nervous system in 2 hours, and you manage to do human evolution in 3 hours. That's 2 plus 2 plus 3, that is 7. So you've done everything in 7 hours, and you're 24 hours of the day. You know you've completed every task for the day. So then you can go chill. You can go, if you want to, you can practice the subject, but because you've done everything that you had to do for the day, so you know that you've done your fair piece of studying for the day. So this helps me not only stay productive, stay disciplined, but also be able to look forward to something. I know that if I can get this done, then I can get to take a break. But it's not that uyayijaha or you're rushing it. Yes, you can rush to run through these things, but it's of no help, because you will come back on this day and you'll be forced to recall them, because that's what we're doing with the 7531. We're going to recall it yet again. So yeah, basically that's how the setting up of the timetable is. On that note, this brings me to the third part of this video, which is where I want to really dissect the realistic part of setting study timetables. And the first thing that we have to point out is the fact that you need to be taking frequent study breaks, all right? And if you're going to do this method that I've also explained how breaks come about, it'll make it a bit more easier for you to take breaks, to look up to look forward to something rather. And if you're also going to use methods like the Pomodoro method, where you go 25 minutes of studying, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes of studying, and you take a 5-minute break, this will then help you take frequent breaks so that you don't burn out, because the worst thing we want happening in a setup where you have something so set out and discipline and rising, you know, we have something that really enriches you, helps you to go on. You have a study timetable very well ordered, a template that is beautiful and it's very realistic, the last thing you want to do is to have you burnt out, because then this here will all be for nothing. And on the basis of taking frequent breaks, that'll also require you to be realistic, in the sense that be realistic in knowing that you can do this much, you know. Only give yourself as much as you can do, because I'm looking here at how I wrote the ear, human nervous system, and human evolution. I know personally that if this is the only thing I'm doing for the day, I can get this done. I do this from 8 till 12, that'll be 4 hours. I take a break. From 2 to 4, I do this here. I take a break. And then from maybe 6 till 8, I do this. And then I take a break, and then I go to sleep early at 10, so that I wake up tomorrow morning, I wake up at 6, and I do it again and again and again and again and again. So you need to be realistic. Give yourself as many things that you know that you can cover. Don't be saying now that you want to cover the entire geography syllabus and cover the entire math syllabus and the entire physics syllabus all in one day. You're going to burn out. I can promise you. You are going to burn out. You need to be very realistic with yourself. The way you set your timetables, make sure that you're giving yourself something that really aligns to your capabilities. Make sure you're doing something that you know that you can handle this as much as you know the capabilities are. And now, one more thing that you need to know about this is you need to find a study method and make sure that the study method that you're using is one that works for you and really brings out the best out of you. I mean, a person like myself, I realize that I'm much more of a visual learner. So if I see something in an exam, just close my eyes, I envision it, and then it comes back up, right? And some people are better as reading and writing learners, yes? Some people are better as listening learners, where you tell them something and young. But for us, some of us, like a person like myself, I know very well that I'm better when I really visualize something. When you show me the graphic of it, I will not forget that. So you need to know what study method works for you. You need to know how it works. And this will then help you make sure that you focus on understanding the concept than memorizing lots of information. And so that is the end of the video. I'd like to thank you for watching till this part of the video. Yes, it's quite late for some people, but if you're watching this towards your exams, this will help you for exams, it will help you for tests, whatever, it will help you. I can promise you, I can put my life into this, that this method here actually works. So the main takes of this video is: 1, we have to use the 7-5-3-1 method. Second thing is to use spaced repetition, to have priorities, to be realistic, and to take frequent breaks. And you need to know your study style. But last but not least, slay these exams. But otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. I have been KOKETSO, and yeah, a peace.